Chapter 851. David gritted his teeth and looked at Sonia and Gullinger. He didn't know what to do for a while. "David, leave us alone, run away," Sonia shouted. "David, they won't let us go even if you capture it without any hesitation." "You don't have to hesitate, just kill me and run away by yourself. I don't want to be spoiled." Gullinger shouted at David. She hoped that David would kill her. After all, it would not end well if it fell into the hands of someone with a scheming like Xuan Yuankai, not to mention that Xuan Yuankai had already shown his intentions to them. "Shut up, damn!" Xuan Yuankai's face turned slightly cold, and he exerted a little force in his hands, and Sonia and Gullinger were sweating profusely in pain. "Stop!" David was furious when he saw this, but he didn't dare to do it easily. He was not sure that he would kill with one blow. After all, Xuan Yuankai was the peak strength of the great master, second only to Wu Zong. David was not sure that he would kill with one blow. If Xuan Yuankai can't be killed with one blow, then Sonia and Gullinger in Xuan Yuankai's hands are in danger. "What? Figured it out?" Xuan Yuankai sneered. "Okay, I'll go with you, you can do whatever you want." David put away the dragon-slaying sword in his hand, put his hands on top of his head, and said with a grey face. Now David has no other choice, except to listen to Xuan Yuankai's words. He can't do anything. "David, don't listen to him! Don't listen to him!" Sonia and Gullinger shouted desperately. However, David didn't seem to hear it, and walked slowly towards Xuan Yuankai. Seeing that David was so witty, Xuan Yuankai's face became even more complacent. "Second brother, if this guy is taken away by the Xuan Yuan family, we will not be able to avenge the elder brother," Qin Xiaotian said anxiously when he saw David walking towards Xuan Yuankai. "Shut up!" Qin Xiaotian was constantly adjusting his breath and treating his injuries, but he didn't want this Qin Xiaotian to chatter. Seeing this, Qin Xiaotian closed his mouth in fright. David put away his breath and slowly walked towards Xuan Yuankai, but after taking 2 steps, David actually found that not far from Xuan Yuankai, the snow wolf was lying on the ground. His body was carefully moving towards Xuan Yuankai. He moved forward, and his eyes were fixed on Xuan Yuankai. Seeing Swalang, David was overjoyed. Just now, he thought Swalang left. After all, the temperature here has risen and the ice and snow have melted, so it is no longer suitable for Swalang to live. "You let the 2 of them go first, I will listen to you in everything. If you want my life, you can take it at any time," David said as he approached Xuan Yuankai. This was to attract Xuan Yuankai's idea and prevent him from discovering the existence of Swalang. "Stop talking nonsense, come here obediently, and I will naturally let your woman go," Xuan Yuankai said impatiently. "David, don't come here!" Sonia and Gullinger were still shouting, and they were sweating profusely. "Don't worry, you two, we'll be fine." David gave the 2 a firm look. He didn't want to make the 2 girls anxious. Just when David was only 3 or 4 meters away from Xuan Yuankai, the snow wolf suddenly started. Roar! After a roar, Swalang quickly bit Xuan Yuankai's arm. The severe pain caused Xuan Yuankai to scream, and then Sonia was released from his hand. After Sonia got out of control, she ran away quickly, but Gullinger was still being controlled by Xuan Yuankai's left hand. As long as Xuan Yuankai exerted force at this time, Gullinger would die on the spot. Just as Swalang launched the attack, David also launched the attack at the same time. The dragon-slaying sword in his hand instantly appeared, and a sword slashed towards Xuan Yuankai's left arm. Chapter 852. Blood splashed. Xuan Yuankai's left arm was directly cut off by David's sword, and the broken arm was still holding Gullinger, but Gullinger rolled on the spot and got rid of the bondage. "What?" The severe pain caused Xuan Yuankai to scream in agony, kicked Swalang's chest fiercely, and kicked Swalang out. Snow Wolf rolled and stood up again, as if he was not injured. Xuan Yuankai was not even at the peak of the great Grandmaster's strength, but in terms of strength, this snow wolf was comparable to Wuzong, and Suan Yuankai's hasty kick could not hurt it at all. Suan Yuankai's screams caught the attention of his subordinates. Seeing that his master was injured, the subordinates of Suan Yuan's family hurriedly got out of the battle with the Thunder Gate and came to Suan Yuankai's side. Xian Yuankai looked at his severed arm with scarlet eyes. "Kill him, kill them for me!" Xian Yuankai roared and ordered his men to kill David. But just as the Xian Yuan family's subordinates were preparing to attack David, a gust of wind suddenly hit, followed by a terrifying coercion, and everyone's expressions changed. Because this breath is too terrifying, surpassing everyone present, feeling the pressure of this breath, whether it is the Grand Master or Wuzong, all of them are motionless. David frowned and turned to look aside. "Eldest nephew, why is there such a fire? Who are you trying to kill?" I saw a middle-aged man slowly appearing. The middle-aged man was wearing a white training suit, stepping on a pair of cloth shoes, with a national character face, and there was no expression on his face. And behind the middle-aged man, 3 people followed, and these 3 people were all martial arts masters, and their aura should have reached the 4th grade martial arts. "Uncle Zhao." When Xian Yuankai saw the person coming, his expression changed slightly and he shouted respectfully, "Uncle Zhao." Seeing this, Cheng Kun also hurried over and shouted to the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man glanced at everyone, and then asked Xian Yuankai, "Where is Chuang in my house? Did you see it?" "Zhao Chuang is over there." Xian Yuankai pointed not far away and said. It turned out that the person who came was Zhao Chuang's father, Zhao Liguo, the owner of Shadowless Villa, but a veteran martial artist. Zhao Liguo looked in the direction Suan Yuankai was pointing, and found that Zhao Chuang was leading a group of men looking for dry wood to make a fire. Zhao Liguo's face turned cold, and his anger rose instantly. Everyone felt Zhao Liguo's anger and couldn't help shaking. Zhao Liguo walked towards Zhao Chuang, but the others didn't dare to do it, but just stared blankly. David's expression was extremely solemn. This Zhao Liguo's strength seemed to be on the same level as Long Wu's. With such strength, David could not be an opponent at all, not to mention that there were several Wuzong masters behind this Zhao Liguo. The sudden appearance of Zhao Liguo made Suan Yuankai, Cheng Kun, and Qin Xiaoxian feel extremely disappointed in an instant. They were still fighting for Longjing just now, but now, Zhao Liguo suddenly brought someone out, so how could this Longjing still have their business? At this time, Zhao Liguo rushed to Zhao Chuang angrily, and slapped him fiercely. Snapped. "UBA5TARD, who asked you to secretly come to Lock Dragon Island?" Zhao Liguo asked angrily. Zhao Chuang saw that his father was coming and was slapped. Instead of being unhappy, he said excitedly, "Dad, you came just in time, please save Xiaoru, hurry up and save her, she is frozen now." Zhao Chuang hurriedly pulled Zhao Liguo and begged Zhao Liguo to rescue Xiaoru who was frozen. Zhao Liguo glanced at Xiaoru, who had turned into an ice sculpture, and frowned slightly, but soon glared at Zhao Chuang and said, "You have nothing to do all day, so you know how to find a woman and come back with me." Chapter 853. Zhao Liguo directly carried Zhao Chuang by the collar and lifted Zhao Chuang up. No matter how much Zhao Chuang struggled, it was useless. Seeing that Zhao Liguo was about to leave, both David and Suan Yuankai breathed a sigh of relief. After all, there was such a depressing master, they were afraid they would not even move. "Dad, I'll go with you, but take my friend with me." When Zhao Chuang passed in front of David and them, he suddenly said to Zhao Liguo. "After all, David, Sonia, and Gulinger are all Xiaoru's friends, and Xiaoru was frozen to save David." Zhao Chuang didn't want David and the others to stay here and be attacked by Suan Yuankai. Zhao Chuang saw the melee just now, but his strength was low, and the subordinates he brought were not rivals of the two families. In addition, he was eager to find a way to save Xiaoru, so he did not help David. Now that his father is here, he doesn't want to see Xiaoru's friends all die here. It seems that this guy has a deep affection for Xiaoru. Okay, if you dare to play tricks on me to see if I don't break your legs, do you know how anxious your mother is to find you? Zhao Liguo glared at Zhao Chuang fiercely and said. No. Zhao Chuang hurriedly agreed, and Zhao Liguo released him. Zhao Chuang walked up to David, Brother Chen, Sister Sonia, Sister Linger, you all come with me, so that no one dares to do anything to you. David and the others felt a little surprised when they looked at Zhao Chuang. They didn't expect Zhao Chuang to help them. After all, now that Xiaoru was gone, Zhao Chuang didn't need to be close to them. Could it be that this kid Zhao Chuang also wanted to get Long Jing, so he would help him? But looking at Zhao Chuang's sincere eyes, it doesn't seem like a trick. Finally, David nodded. After all, leaving with Zhao Chuang was the most suitable choice. David took Sonia and Gu Linger along with Zhao Chuang to Zhao Liguo. Zhao Liguo just glanced at David and Sonia and didn't say anything, he turned and left. This time, whether it was Xian Yuankai or Cheng Kun, they were all in a hurry. David ate Long Jing, how could he be taken away casually? Uncle Zhao. Xian Yuankai hurried forward and stopped Zhao Liguo. Eldest nephew, is there something wrong? Zhao Liguo glanced at Xuan Yuankai's severed arm, but he didn't show any expression. Uncle Zhao, you can't take David with you. He cut off my arm. I have to avenge this revenge. Xian Yuankai said to Zhao Liguo. He didn't say that David ate Long Jing, otherwise Zhao Liguo would have taken David away even more if he knew about it. Did he cut off your arm? Zhao Liguo was slightly taken aback. From his point of view, David was not as strong as a 7th grade grandmaster, so how could he cut off Xuan Yuankai's peak arm? Zhao Liguo thought it was Xuan Yuankai and Cheng Kun fighting, their arms were chopped off in a melee. After all, the two of them did not see eye to eye, and everyone knew that as long as they met, they would fight. Now when I heard that it was actually cut by David, I couldn't help but look at David more. Chuang, what's going on? Zhao Liguo asked Zhao Chuang. After all, Zhao Chuang said that David was his friend. Since he was a friend, why would he cut off Xuan Yuankai's arm? Zhao Chuang looked at David, then at Xuan Yuankai, and finally said through gritted teeth, Dad, it was David who ate Long Jing. They wanted to get Long Jing, so there was a conflict. Zhao Chuang told the story of David eating Long Jing. Dragon Crystal. Hearing the words Long Jing, Zhao Liguo's eyes suddenly burst into light. Seeing Zhao Liguo's expression, Zhao Chuang suddenly regretted it. He shouldn't have said this to his father. Although he has no greed for anything about Long Jing, his father will not be the same as him. Chapter 854. Xuan Yuankai and Cheng Kun felt bad when they saw Zhao Liguo's expression. This time, Long Jing and the others couldn't even imagine it. After David felt the gaze from Zhao Liguo, he instantly took 2 steps back. You swallowed Long Jing? Zhao Liguo asked David. David nodded, but did not speak. Dad, they are all my friends, Brother Chen, he. Shut up. Zhao Liguo turned his head and glared at Zhao Chuang, and then ordered to his subordinate, you take the young master away first. The 2 shadowless villa masters came over, directly set up Zhao Chuang and left. No matter how much Zhao Chuang struggled, it was useless at all. After taking Zhao Chuang away, Zhao Liguo looked at David, stretched out his hand and said, Boy, spit out Long Jing, I can take you away safely. Uncle Zhao, this dragon crystal has been swallowed by this kid for a while. It is estimated that he has digested it. It is estimated that he can't spit it out. Xian Yuankai said to Zhao Liguo. Foolishness, Zhao Liguo snorted coldly, without even looking at Xian Yuankai, but staring at David with icy eyes. An invisible coercion instantly enveloped David. David felt a big mountain pressing down on his body, and then his legs began to tremble slightly. You guys still have some skills. Zhao Liguo was a little surprised when he saw that his coercion failed to overwhelm David. David is only the strength of the 7th grade Great Master, how can he withstand his own coercion? To know the pressure that Zhao Liguo exudes, even if you are a master who has just stepped into the realm of Wuzong, don't even think about standing. Longjing is what I got, I won't give it to anyone unless I die. David slowly brought out the dragon-slaying sword. The bright red blood flowed on the dragon-slaying sword, clearly visible. I didn't expect that a great master of yours would actually have such a sword in his hand. It seems that this time, I have made a worthwhile trip. Zhao Liguo's eyes brightened when he saw the dragon-slaying sword in David's hand. David mobilized the spiritual power of his whole body, and the breath of his body continued to rise. Facing a master like Zhao Liguo, even though David had eaten the body-tempering pill, his body was like an iron wall, and it would be difficult for him to take the next blow. Boy, I'm saying it again, spit out Longjing, and give me this sword. For the sake of your friend Chuanger, I'll take you away. Zhao Liguo said to David again. I said, unless I die. David's eyes were firm. You die easily, don't you think about the 2 little girls behind you. Zhao Liguo pointed to Sonia and Gulinger who were on the side. David glanced at the 2 of them, as if he was saying the best farewell, and then stared at Zhao Liguo. It's already at this point, and I don't have anything to think about, but even if I blow myself up, you'll never get Longjing. When Zhao Liguo saw that David was actually soft and hard, his face suddenly became extremely gloomy. Suddenly, Zhao Liguo made his move, and a terrifying aura instantly enveloped David. David only felt his whole body tense, struggling to wave the dragon-slaying sword in his hand to resist, but found that it was very difficult for him to even draw the sword. Zhao Liguo was afraid of David's self-destruction, so he took the lead to control David, and then slapped David's head with a palm. What? Seeing that Zhao Liguo slapped it with a palm, David roared. Bursts of golden light suddenly burst out from his body, and a barrier appeared in front of David. It's a pity that this barrier did not stop Zhao Liguo. Zhao Liguo didn't even pause for a while, and patted David's head directly with his palm. But just when Zhao Liguo's palm was only a few centimeters away from David, when David even felt the breath of death, Zhao Liguo suddenly stopped. Chapter 855. The terrifying atmosphere surrounding David also disappeared in an instant, which made David a little surprised, and then looked at Zhao Liguo. At this time, Zhao Liguo was staring closely at a ring on David's hand. The reason why he stopped was entirely because he noticed the ring. Seeing Zhao Liguo's expression at this time, David frowned slightly, as if thinking of something, because Lin Tianhu and Qi Feng had the same expression when they saw their ring. Soon, Zhao Liguo regained his mind. After his face changed slightly, he immediately returned to normal. He said to David, "Since you are Chuanger's friend, forget it today, come with me." Zhao Liguo's sudden change made Sonia and Gulinger stunned. They thought that David would die today, but they didn't want Zhao Liguo to stop. Also surprised were Xian Yuankai and Cheng Kun. They couldn't understand what medicine was sold in Zhao Liguo's gourd. But seeing Zhao Liguo's changes, David secretly breathed a sigh of relief. He thought it might be true. "Sonia, Linger, let's go," David said to Sonia and Gulinger. The 2 girls followed behind David, and David followed behind Zhao Liguo, walking towards the shore together. David and Sonia turned their heads from time to time to look at Xiao Ru, who had turned into an ice sculpture. The 3 of them were unspeakably uncomfortable. "Uncle Zhao." Seeing that Zhao Liguo was going to take David away, Xian Yuankai immediately chased after him anxiously. "Busy?" Zhao Liguo asked Xian Yuankai coldly. "Uncle Zhao, this David ate Longjing, which should belong to all of us. In order to deal with the ice dragon, we have all done our best. Now you take David away, so the rest of us can't get anything." "Arrived," Xian Yuankai said. "I'll take him away, do you have an opinion?" Zhao Liguo narrowed his eyes slightly, and a breath instantly enveloped Xuan Yuankai. Xian Yuankai only felt his legs soften, and the whole person instantly sat on the ground. No, no opinion. Swan Yuankai's face was pale, but he still gritted his teeth and said, Uncle Zhao, you just took David away like this. I believe my father and sect master Cheng will definitely come to the door to ask for its statement. Xian Yuankai used his father and Cheng Kun's father to threaten Zhao Liguo. You dare to threaten me? Zhao Liguo frowned. Don't think you are from the Xian Yuan family. I won't dare to touch you. I can crush you with one finger now. I'll see if your Xian Yuan family dares to find you. Can't I go to Shadowless Villa? After Zhao Liguo finished speaking, he waved his sleeves gently, and Swan Yuankai flew upside down and fell heavily to the ground. Although Zhao Liguo didn't kill him, Xian Yuankai was seriously injured this time. Then Zhao Liguo looked at Cheng Kun and said, I'll take them away now, do you have any opinion? Cheng Kun hurriedly shook his head and said, What does Uncle Zhao do? How dare we juniors have any opinions? Cheng Kun didn't dare to say anything even if he had an opinion at this moment. After all, Xian Yuankai was a role model in front of him. He didn't want to be beaten and seriously injured. Zhao Liguo snorted coldly and glanced at Qin Zioxian's group not far away. Zhao Zhuangzu is casual, we don't dare to have any opinions. Qin Xiaoxian waved his hands in fright when he saw Zhao Liguo looking here. Only then did Zhao Liguo take David away with satisfaction. Second brother, then David just left, don't we take revenge? Qin Xiaotian couldn't help worrying when he saw David walking away. Don't worry, he can't live, and the Shadowless Villa can't let him live. After Qin Xiaoxian finished speaking, he took the people and left. Chapter 856. Damn, Swan Yuankai was helped by his subordinates and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. Go, let's go back and report to my father. Long Jing appeared and was eaten by David. This is a big event. Cheng Kun saw that Swan Yuankai was gone. He didn't stay, he took someone and left. On the other side, David and the others followed Zhao Liguo to the beach, and the Snow Wolf followed far behind. David was also very grateful to Swalang for saving Sonia and Gulinger, but Swalang had adapted to the life here after all, and David could not take it away from Suolong Island. And when Sonia and Gulinger saw the Snow Wolf, they crouched down and waved to the Snow Wolf. Snow Wolf ran over Sensible, and then rubbed against the two girls, like a docile wolf dog. David, shall we take it away? Sonia looked at David and asked. Swalang also looked at David with anticipation in his eyes, and it seemed that he also wanted to leave here. Seeing Swalang like that, David could only nod his head. Sonia and Gulinger happily hugged Snow Wolf. Brother Chen. Zhao Chuang, who had been brought to the coast long ago, hurried over after seeing David, and then glanced at his father angrily. Come on board. Zhao Liguo said. Everyone got on the yacht that Zhao Liguo and the others drove. Although the yacht was not as big as the cruise ship that David and the others came with, it was quite luxurious, and it was more than enough to accommodate them. After getting on the boat, Zhao Liguo asked everyone to wait, but he called David to a room alone. Seeing this, Sonia and Gulinger hurriedly stood in front of David. They were afraid that Zhao Li would attack David. Dad. Zhao Chuang looked at Zhao Liguo and wanted to plead for David. You wait outside, I'll be fine. David smiled at Sonia and the others. Since Zhao Liguo didn't kill him on the island, he wouldn't kill him when he got on the boat. David followed Zhao Liguo into a room. When the door was closed, Zhao Liguo suddenly knelt down in front of David. For this sudden move, David didn't feel much surprise, because he had already expected it. Zhao Liguo of Shadowless Villa, meet the palace master. Zhao Liguo's face was respectful, and he had long since lost the arrogance and ruthlessness he had when he was on Suolong Island. Master Zhao, get up. David helped Zhao Liguo up. Thank you, Hall Master. Zhao Liguo stood up. Zhao Zhuangzu, I have some doubts right now, you must tell the truth. David said after supporting Zhao Liguo. Palace Master, please tell me, I must know everything. Zhao Liguo nodded. Zhao Zhuangzu, do you know who the previous owner of the dragon ring was? What is his identity? David raised his hand and asked, revealing the ring on his hand. Since this ring was left by his father as a token of love for his mother, David must find out who his father is. Such a ruthless man, he wants justice for his mother. Zhao Liguo was stunned for a moment, and then said puzzledly, Palace Master, don't you know who gave you the heavenly dragon ring? The owner of this ring, I have never seen it, it was given to me by someone else's hand. David replied. Zhao Liguo suddenly realized, actually, I don't know who the previous owner of the dragon ring was. We only recognize the ring and not anyone. Even the 13 entrances of our heavenly dragon hall, I don't know where the other entrances are. Counting you, I've already found 3 halls. After David finished speaking, the whole person fell into contemplation. At first he got this heavenly dragon ring, and he always thought it was the head of the old Irvin. Later, he met Lin Tianhu and Qi Feng. Knowing the strength of the heavenly dragon sect, David didn't take it too seriously at that time. Chapter 857. After all, a gangster in a small city like Lin Tianhu can also be a hall of the dragon sect, which shows that the strength of this dragon sect is also very general. Although the later Qi Feng was quite strong and was a master, in the entire martial arts world, there were so many masters as dogs, and David did not attract much attention. But until yesterday, Irvin revealed the truth. He knew his identity and knew that this ring was actually a token of love given to his mother by his father. In addition to such a peerless master like Zhao Liguo, he was also a member of the dragon sect. This shocked David. He now wants to know who his father is, how he created the dragon sect, and why the strengths of the various halls of the dragon sect are so different. But these questions, it seems that no one can help David to answer, he can only rely on himself to explore. David now has some expectations, looking forward to where the next hall of dragon sect will be, and what kind of strength will it be. If there are more powerful Tang Kao like Wuying Mountain Villa, David may be able to destroy the Long family and rescue his mother by relying on the strength of dragon sect. Just when David was thinking, someone suddenly shouted outside. Who is so bold to break into Suolong Island without authorization? When I heard someone drinking outside, it should be someone from the Long family. Palace Master, it should be from the Long family, I'll go out and see. Zhao Liguo heard the explosion and said to David. I'll go with you, don't reveal my identity. David said. Zhao Liguo nodded and walked out with David. At this moment, a huge cruise ship was parked not far in front of them. On the deck of the cruise ship, Long Xingxiu was standing proudly, followed by many Long family members, watching the icy and biting snow on Suolong Island disappeared. Replaced by a piece of brown soil and rocks, and Long Xingxiu's brows were tightly twisted together. It is obvious that such a change in Suolong Island must be taken away by Long Jing. Although this is just a legend, it does not mean that it is not true. Now all he has to do is to find a way to stop the person who got Long Jing. It is best to leave no one behind on the island. Master Long, I'm Zhao Liguo of Wuying Villa, and I didn't intend to break into Suolong Island without permission. It's just that the dog is playful. I'm just bringing him back. Zhao Liguo looked at Long Xingxiu standing proudly and said. Long Xingxiu had already seen it the moment Zhao Liguo walked out. At this moment, he was thinking about whether the Longjing on the island was taken by Zhao Liguo. Strength, there is no way to stop Zhao Liguo. It turned out to be the owner of Zhao Chuang. When you come to your son, you should always say hello to my Long family in advance. After all, anyone with strength like you can land on the island casually. It won't take long for this Suolong Island to become an island. Desert Island. Long Xingxiu said, neither humble nor arrogant. With the Long family behind him, Long Xingxiu didn't panic even in the face of a master like Zhao Liguo. Young Master Long, I wrote it down. Next time I come to Sualong Island, I will tell you that it is too late. I have to rush back, so I won't talk to Master Long." After Zhao Liguo finished speaking, he waved his hand towards his subordinates, and the yacht started instantly and sailed into the distance under Long Xingxiu's eyelids. Long Xingxiu looked at Zhao Liguo who was about to leave, his face became ugly, but he didn't stop it, because he knew his strength and couldn't stop it at all. As long as David was by Zhao Liguo's side, Long Xingxiu didn't pay attention to it at all. He never thought that Long Jing would be obtained by David, and even more unexpected that the person the Long family was looking for was also David. Chapter 858. Not long after David followed Zhao Liguo and the others, Xian Yuankai, Qin Xiaoxian, and Cheng Kun also arrived. Looking at Xian Yuankai who was seriously injured, Long Xingxiu said with a puzzled face, "Master Xian Yuan, on this island, who else can hurt you like this?" "Young Master Long, it was because I encountered a fierce beast and fought." Xian Yuankai explained. It is impossible for him to tell Long Xingxiu the truth. The less people know about Long Jing, the better. If the Long family also knows that David has obtained Long Jing, then their Xian Yuan family will have no chance at all. Beast. The corner of Long Xingxiu's mouth twitched. "Your arm was obviously chopped off, and the wound is so neat, how could it be done by a beast? Don't you think of me as a 3-year-old child?" Xian Yuankai lowered his head slightly and stopped talking because he didn't know how to explain it. Long Xingxiu swept a few people's eyes, and suddenly his face turned cold, and a terrifying aura instantly enveloped everyone. "Did you get Long Jing? Tell me, whose hands is Long Jing?" Long Xingxiu didn't dare to question Zhao Liguo, but in the face of Xuan Yuankai and the others, Long Xingxiu didn't have to give any face. After hearing Long Xingxiu's words, several people were shocked, but no one said anything. They all think the same thing. The fewer people who know about Long Jing, the better, especially the Long family. If the Long family knows, then this Long Jing will not have their share. Long Xingxiu saw several people who didn't speak, and his face became more and more gloomy. "If you don't speak, then no one will want to leave here." After Long Xingxiu finished speaking, a group of Long family members directly surrounded Xian Yuankai and the others. "Master Long, we didn't get any dragon crystals, what are you doing?" Xian Yuankai's face was a little ugly. "Mr. Long, are you trying to attack us? Although our Thunder Gate and Xuan Yuan's family lost to your Long family, but if you really dare to kill us, let's see if our two families will ask the Long family to sue. To put it simply, you are just a sideline of the Long family. Will the Long family offend our two families for you?" Cheng Kun's fiery temper looked at Long Xingxiu without any fear. "And our Qin family, I was sent by the ancestor of the Qin family to Sualong Island. If I can't go back, the Qin family will definitely not give up." Qin Xiaoxian also stood up and said at this time. Facing the Long family, they must unite together, otherwise none of them can threaten the Long family. Seeing that he was threatening himself on his cruise ship, Long Xingxiu suddenly burst out laughing. "Ha ha ha!" After laughing twice, it stopped abruptly, and then Long Xingxiu said angrily, "I killed you all and threw them all into the sea. Who would have known that our Long family did it? You guys, you dare to threaten me, and you look down on me, a collateral member of the Long family." As a genius of the younger generation of the Long family, Long Xingxiu was not taken seriously because he was from a sideline, which is what Long Xingxiu cared about the most. Now Cheng Kun mocked him for being a sideline, and the anger in Long Xingxiu's heart was instantly ignited. Bang! Suddenly, Long Xingxiu shot, and Cheng Kun, who was several meters away, only felt a strong force attack, and the whole person flew out in an instant. "Master!" The Wuzong brought by Cheng Kun hurriedly jumped, trying to catch Cheng Kun. It's a pity that Wuzong just jumped up and was kicked out by the people of the Long family. Neither the Thunder Gate nor the Xian Yuan family had the strength to follow the Long family. Cheng Kun fell heavily to the ground, his face was extremely pale, and the fiery temper he had just now wilted in an instant. I'm asking you again, where is Long Jing? The cold killing intent that Long Xingxiu exuded made everyone tremble. Chapter 859. However, Long Jing is too tempting. If the Long family really knows the whereabouts of Long Jing, then the other families should not think about Long Jing's idea. Just when a few people hesitated, suddenly Qin Xiaotian took a step forward. Master Long, I know where Long Jing is. Although Qin Xiaotian doesn't know Long Xingxiu or Long Jing, but looking at the situation in front of him, the Long family is definitely of extraordinary strength. Now that David got Long Jing, David will definitely die. You said it. Long Xingxiu looked at Qin Xiaotian. It was David who swallowed Long Jing and was taken away. Qin Xiaotian said. David. Long Xingxiu frowned slightly, he was very unfamiliar with this name. It's the young man who was just taken away by the owner of the Shadowless Villa, and there are two women beside him. Qin Xiaotian explained. When Long Xingxiu heard it, he suddenly remembered that he saw David at that time, but he didn't care. When they landed on the island at that time, David brought Sonia and the others to the island. After Long Xingxiu saw it, he mistakenly thought that David was a playboy, and brought a few beautiful women to Suolong Island. Master, is this David the person we are looking for? At this time, a servant of the Long family whispered in Long Xingxiu's ear. David, David. Long Xingxiu kept reciting this name, trying to recall how he felt when he saw David for the first time, but he couldn't remember it because he didn't think about David in that way at all. At that time, he was most suspicious of the evil cultivator in a black suit. After all, he was the only one with the highest strength and most likely the person the Long family was looking for. Master Xuan Yuan, is he telling the truth? Long Xingxiu looked at Xuan Yuankai and asked. After Xuan Yuankai glanced at Qin Xiaotian, he nodded, he is right, Long Jing was indeed swallowed by David, and my arm was also cut off by David. When Long Xingxiu heard this, a hint of surprise flashed across his face. If you know that Xuan Yuankai is the peak of the great master, how could David cut off Xuan Yuankai's arm? Could it be that he misunderstood? Maybe this kid was hiding his strength from the beginning, and deliberately brought a few women to the island to confuse him. T. Long Xingxiu suddenly felt deceived and said to his subordinate, let's sail, we'll go back right away. Master, those people on that island. Let them figure out their own way. Long Xingxiu said with a cold face. Soon the cruise ship started, but the Qin family, Xuan Yuan family and Pilaman were more fortunate and rushed back to Nanhua City with the cruise ship. It was late at night. In front of a hotel window in Nanhua City, Long Wu looked at the sea not far away, and his whole person fell into contemplation. Uncle Long, it's time to rest, you've been standing here all day. Wu Meier walked to Long Wu's side and persuaded softly. Since David and the others left and went to Suolong Island, Long Wu has been standing here, because he can see Suolong Island here. Meier, go to sleep, I'll stay for a while. Long Wu said, took out a cigarette and lit it. As soon as he took 2 breaths, he started coughing continuously. Uncle Long, you are injured, stop smoking. Wu Meier hurriedly slapped Long Wu on the back. It's okay, it's all old injuries, it's deadly. Long Wu smiled slightly, then began to inhale again. His injury was caused by avoiding the pursuit of the Long family. In order to find David, Long Wu and Irvin escaped from the Long family and have been chased and killed by the Long family for several years in the blink of an eye. Uncle Long, you should rest. David and the others are only going today. Even if they can get Long Jing, it is impossible to come back so soon. Wu Meier was still persuading Long Wu. Chapter 860. Just when Long Wu was about to say something, someone knocked on the door. Wu Meier and Long Wu's expressions all changed slightly. It's so late, who would find this place? Long Wu motioned Wu Meier to open the door, and he was ready to attack. When Wu Meier opened the door, she found that it was David and Sonia who had returned. Why did you come back? Wu Meyer was surprised. When Long Wu saw that David was back, he frowned and said, David, you are back so soon, did something happen? David shook his head, Uncle Long, I got the Ice Dragon crystal. When Long Wu heard this, he hurriedly shrouded David with a sense of consciousness, and he saw the change in David's body, and said with excitement, it's great that you can get Longjing so quickly, what about Yanlong Longjing? Hearing Long Wu talking about taking Yanlong Longjing, David thought of Xiaoru who became an ice sculpture, and his mood instantly became gloomy. Uncle Long, I don't want to sacrifice the people around me in order to get Longjing. David said with a heavy face. When Long Wu heard this, he glanced around, but did not find Xiaoru's figure, and immediately understood, his eyes suddenly turned red, David, this is fate, don't be too sad, I hope you don't let Xiaoru down. The dragon crystal that was exchanged for life. Uncle Long, could it be that Xiaoru has been frozen on Suolong Island, and you can't save him? At this time, Sonia, who was at the side, asked. After all, in her eyes, Long Wu is like a fairy, omnipotent. Long Wu shook his head, I can't, but the way to cultivate immortals will never end. Maybe when you surpass me, you will be able to find a way to save Xiaoru. I will definitely save Xiaoru back. David's eyes are full of determination, if he can't protect the people around him, what's the use of immortality and immortality? How did you come back, isn't it 3 days this time? Long Wu asked very puzzled. After all, there is only one boat from the Long family. If David and the others want to come back, they must take a boat. David told Long Wu the things on the road one by one, but he only concealed the fact that Wuying Mountain Villa was also a hall of dragon sect. After Long Wu heard this, his brows were wrinkled and his face became very solemn. I'm afraid it won't take long for you to swallow Longjing, and many people will know about it, and it's impossible to hide this from the Long family. You have to be more careful in the future. It's imperative that you leave immediately. Nanhua City, find a hidden place to hide, and use Longjing to cultivate to improve your strength. As for Sonia and Linger, I will help you take care of them, and teach them to practice. Following you with their current strength will only add to your burden. Remember, don't show your edge unless you have to. Now that you have swallowed Longjing, you have become the target of public criticism, and it is estimated that there will be many people who want to kill you. Long Wu solemnly exhorted David. Long Wu didn't expect so many people to see David's acquisition of Longjing, and so many people discovered where the ice dragon was. This is also the despicable part of the Long family. If the Long family didn't suddenly open the Suolong Island, there would not be so many people on the Suolong Island. David has every opportunity to sneak into the Suolong Island and get the dragon crystal. The ghost is leaving. Now that David's devouring of Longjing is exposed, it will be more and more difficult in the future. David never thought that the matter would be so serious. Now listening to what Long Wei said, I am afraid that many people will really come to trouble him in the future. After following a few people to say goodbye, David left overnight. After David left, Long Wu didn't stay long. He took Sonia and the others along with the Snow Wolf and disappeared from Nanhua City together. No one knew where they went.